Welcome back. Well, Rolling Stone named our next guest one of the top, the 50 best stand-up comics of all time. Wow. A hell of a list. And you can catch her tonight at the Pantages Theater. Here's a clip from Tig Notaro's Netflix special. Happy to be here.
Stephanie and I adopted a precious little kitten named Fluff. And that's her given name. We kept it out of respect for her birth parents. And a couple of years into having Fluff, I realized that I had never meowed at her. So she meows at me, she meows. Meow. Then I says to her, I says, meow. We're going back and forth, having the time of our lives. And then Stephanie leans out of the kitchen and says, I wouldn't do that if I were you. What? You don't know what you're saying to her.
Cue the applause. Please give it up for Tig Notaro. Hi, Tig.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
How are the kids?
They are great. They're sports obsessed. And
Really?
Actually, yeah, they are fraternal twins, and they actually are big fans of the twins.
Are you serious? It's Finn and Max, right, Tig? Finn and Max?
Yeah, because I think of the twins element.
Have you got to take them, because I don't know if I know you've been here before, right, Tig? You've performed in Minneapolis before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, almost every year.
That's what I thought. Have you been to Target Field yet?
No, I'm not the sports fanatic. It's my 5.5-year-old.
Believe me, I'm not either. I will say, though, Tig, if you ever come during a baseball season and you have like a couple hours, you should go to the park. I hate sports too, but it's a nice park.
I don't hate sports. It's hard, like, up against my sons who are truly, my son Finn follows stats. He gets up at 5 a.m, gets on my wife's cell phone and checks all the sports stats immediately. So
are you
it's
serious?
Not that I hate it. Yeah, it's not that I hate it. It's just it's because of who I live with. My sons are just fanatical.
I love it. How much, Tig, I was wondering, how much did motherhood change your comedy?
Well, I think just having a family and, I always tell people that I basically live with a house full of writers because everything my wife or my children, everything they do, I consider, maybe I could put this in my show. But I do think that it's interesting because I've never considered anybody else really before I wrote or delivered material. And now I take that extra second and think, should this go on stage or should I just keep this to myself?
Yeah. Do I want them searching for this on YouTube in about 10 years?
Exactly.
We've had a couple.
Or now
even. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Over the last 2 years, whenever we have comedians on, and anyone that watches the show know, I have such respect for the art because I believe it is an art. I always like to ask, what has the last 2 years done to your act? It's a piggyback off my last question. How much has the last 2 wacky blank years affected your comedy? Did it take you onto a different highway?
Well, a lot of comedians did stand-up shows on Zoom, or they did live shows at drive-in theaters where people would honk in their cars in replace of laughter. And I fully respect everyone that did that. I just didn't do it. I stayed home with my family, and I pivoted back to the podcast world where I actually started over 10 years ago. And I have a podcast called Don't Ask Tig, and I have one called Tig and Cheryl True Story. and it was really fun to just be away from stand-up for a beat and be funny through podcasting. And when I got back to actually being on stage, which I'm doing now, I'm not really going into the whole pandemic for the past 2 years. I'm just, it's really a moment for people to come and hopefully enjoy themselves and not think about the pandemic.
I was going to say the cliche, but it is an escape, right, Tig? I mean, that's what, and again, the show's called Hello Again, and Tig's not here for her health, for heaven's sake. You're doing 2 shows, one sold out, and there are tickets available for the second one, right, Tig?
Yeah, they told me that there's a few more tickets left for the, I think it's the Late Show. And I've been on tour for, I think, since the first week of January. And I've gone home a couple of days here and there, but I've had such a great time. And that's what I've heard, is that people have really enjoyed escaping their lives right now. And I feel thankful to be a part of it.
One last thing before we go. Can I just tell you, I like to start her in on a compliment. You're so damn good on Star Trek Discovery. I just want to just geek out for a second. You truly are. Forget the captain, forget the aliens, forget the plot. You're just my favorite on that show. And you're just,
well, thank you.
Yeah, you really are. My husband and I love you on that show.
Thank you. It's such a fun show to do, and people are so supportive, and they're always like, why aren't you on more episodes? And I always have to remind them that I have a whole other career. And so when I have free time, I really try to make it. But yeah.
Well, just know we appreciate it. The folks are right. We whatever time you can give us on that show, we appreciate it, and we can't wait to see it tonight. Tig, seriously, thank you for doing this. I know show days are hard, they're long, and the last thing you want to do is talk to goobers like me in the morning. So
no, I appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to come to Minneapolis. I love Minneapolis, and as I said, I've been coming there for years, so it'll be good to be back.
Well, everyone, go get tickets for tonight's show. Tig, thank you so much. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you.
Go to hennepintheatertrust.org for more on Tig, and then if you want tickets, tignation.com. I think the 9 p.m. show has tickets, so go. Heck, I might even go tonight. I'll be frisky. I like Tig. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Thrifty Traveler with tips on navigating the tricky travel waters next.